Hi, my name is Jessica, and I did my topic on occupational pesticide use and the risk of it with renal cell carcinoma in the agricultural health study. So, just a summary, agricultural work and occupational pesticide use have been associated with increased risk of renal cell carcinoma, or RCC, which is the most common form of kidney cancer. However, few prospective studies have investigated links to specific pesticides. So, this article evaluated the lifetime use of individual pesticides and the incidence of RCC afterwards. It also evaluated the associations between intensity weighted lifetime days of 38 pesticides and incident RCC in the agricultural health study, which takes place in Iowa and North Carolina. Among the 55,873 applicators, 308 cases were diagnosed between enrollment and the end of the follow up. They also focused on the incidence rate ratios and 95% confidence intervals, controlling for potential confounding factors with lagged and unlagged pesticide exposures. There was statistically significant increased risk of RCC among the highest users of 2,4,5-T, which is an herbicide, compared with never users, and there was also similar risk estimates for lagged exposure. So in these analyses, they also found exposure response associations with these 5 herbicide and insecticides listed on the screen. They found evidence of associations with RCC for 4 herbicides and 2 insecticides, which are also listed on the screen. The findings provide insights into specific chemicals that may influence RCC risk among pesticide applicators. So why this is important is because the widespread use of pesticides in agricultural settings, public health, commerce, and individual households throughout the world is an indication of the importance of these compounds. Pesticides are widely used all around the world in agricultural and other settings, resulting in continuing human exposure to farmers and other people who deal with these chemicals and pesticides and who handle the crops that have been sprayed. Agriculture accounts for an important economic activity worldwide, and the search for the increased productivity incorporated the use of pesticides in this practice. So these studies indicate that despite the animal testing that's done beforehand, current exposures are associated with human health risks. Improving these studies and integrating this information with toxicology data will allow the human health risks of pesticide exposure to be more accurately judged by public health policymakers. Agriculture has traditionally been tied to pesticide-related illness because of how much pesticides are used. So 19 of the 30 commonly used lawn pesticides and 28 of 40 commonly used school pesticides are linked to different cancers. The environmental impact, it has various chemicals and pesticides used in various articles and studies that I've researched have a major effect on farmers and others who are exposed to them. Pesticides can contaminate soil, water, turf, and other vegetation. In addition to killing insects or weeds, they can also be toxic to a host of other organisms, including birds, fish, beneficial insects, and non-target plants. With the article about pesticides and RCC, my main article, these chemicals can cause diseases and cancers in humans if they're not correctly used and tested. Insecticides are generally the most acutely toxic class of pesticides, but herbicides can also pose risk to non-target organisms, clearly like humans with my main article and with the renal cell carcinoma. So the public health response would be that these studies continue to provide data to see if the products that pass regulatory hurdles can affect human health. Clearly, finding positive associations with disease with pesticide exposure in epidemiologic studies reflects limitations of current or past public health policy. If policy were completely effective, the only disease associated with pesticide use would be among those who accidentally or intentionally misuse the product. However, pesticide exposure affects more than that limited group. This suggests that current policies may not impart an adequate safeguard, either animal testing alone or its interpretation in settings, and the setting policy is not sufficient to protect public health. The public health response should be further investigation of chemicals and various pesticides before they're used on agriculture or in any other area. These are my references. I had 5 of them. Thank you.